including a 2008 MLG National Championship. Since the age of 16, T-Squared has been a competitive Halo player. He participated in MLG's first ever season in 2004 and has been part of the MLG scene throughout Halo 1, 2, and 3, attending 46 of the league's 49 competitions. Tom has placed near the top in almost every event he has played in, and has won pro circuit competitions in every version of Halo, becoming one of the first MLG players to ever make a living solely off of competitive Halo.
Hey GameStop fans, I'm Tom T-Squared Taylor, outside the Microsoft Xbox Studios in Redmond, Washington. And I'm here to get you the inside scoop on not only the biggest game of the year, but the biggest Halo yet. That's right, I'm talking about Halo Reach. If you're like me, you jumped into the Halo Reach multiplayer beta just a few months ago to get a small taste of what the folks at Bungie and Microsoft have in store for us this September. But you know your boy T-Squared is going to bust up in here and get some more one-on-one time with Halo Reach and pass that knowledge on to you, my GameStop compadres. Together we'll learn a little bit more about Halo Reach, and I'm going to count down my top 5 tips to ensure you are fragging like a pro when the game launches September 14th. Now let's do this. Visitors.
Hey Tom, I didn't know you were in town. You know, we've got the latest build of Halo Reach in here. You want to come inside and check it out? Let's do it. Let's go. My name is Frank O'Connor. I am the Halo Franchise Development Director at 343 Industries. Halo Reach is significant for a couple of reasons. I think the most important reason, the easiest reason, is that it's the biggest and best Halo game today. It takes place at a scale and a scope that you've simply never seen before in the Halo universe. The second reason is a fictional reason. It is an incredible setup piece for the Halo universe. If you're new to the universe, or if you're a Halo fan, it goes deep into the history and backstory of the Spartans and the human struggle against the Covenant Empire as it invades human space. And Reach specifically was a real Rubicon, a real turning point for the human race. This is where their biggest military outpost fell, and where the tide really started to turn against humanity. As we start on Reach, we're with a group of Spartans, the Noble team, mostly Spartan 3s. One of them is a Spartan 2. They lost one of their members, Noble 6, and you've been called in to replace that team member. So there's a lot of pressure on your shoulders. There's pressure to perform as a soldier, of course, but there's also this pressure where you're coming in a group of people who formed a team through camaraderie and friendship, and you're the new guy. So that's how you feel when you get boots on the ground on Reach. Also, you're there at a very unfortunate moment. You're there at the exact moment that the Covenant discovered the location of Reach and launched an invasion force on that world. The campaign and the story, as they've been revealed today, certainly put all the emphasis and focus focus on this huge scale military campaign, and it makes it look like this very gritty military campaign. People have asked me, does that mean that the mystery and the surprises and the twists that people are used to in the Halo universe are gone? No, they're in there. I'm not going to spoil that for players before they enjoy the campaign. But there are a couple of very significant surprises, a couple of twists, and a couple of familiar characters are going to be returning to the Halo universe in this game.
Hello, I'm Sarge from the popular web series, Red vs. Blue.
And I'm Private Griff from the same show.
Everyone here, Red vs. Blue, is gearing up for the big changes coming in Halo Reach.
Moving to a new game can be a challenging time in any young video game character's life.
For example, you may find yourself experiencing an increased interest in alien species.
Hey, come back with that!
Or due to increased graphics, you may notice pixels in places you didn't have pixels before. Don't be scared. This is normal.
Or your voice may be changing, because they added that option in the firefight mode.
There may even be new social pressure to wear the right armor and hang out in the cool maps.
All in all, moving to a new prequel can be a confusing time for anyone. That's why GameStop is holding Halo Fest, a place where all Halo fans can learn about the upcoming changes to expect as they move to Halo Reach. There's contests and prizes. You can even win a life-size Spartan statue when you pre-order at GameStop.
Just visit GameStop.com/HaloFest. And remember, you're not alone.
Right. Unless you don't have an internet connection.
Oh yeah, then you are alone. Totally alone.
Before we get too hardcore, let's start with some basic training. Consider this Weapons 101. My main job on my team's Trigger Griffin is to head for the power weapons. This helps you maintain map control and allows the other guys from racking up kills. My personal favorite and specialty is the rocket launcher. In every map, whatever the game type, make your goal to get to the Rockitos as fast as possible. There are a couple key points to using this massive gun. First off, jump prior to shooting. This gives you a better angle on the opponent and also allows you to create a bigger distance between you and the ground below. The biggest mistake I see amateur players make is aiming at the enemy like a normal gun. Please stop, it is embarrassing. Put your reticle on the surrounding object like a wall, lamppost, or even the ground to create an explosion that is sure to send the enemy on respawn. Grenades in Halo Reach should be considered dangerous. Not like the rockets, but just as close. The key to throwing grenades is in the movement of your Spartan. You can actually change the direction and the distance of the nades just with the left joystick. If you're looking for a quick kill, carry around the plasma pistol and DMR combo. Charge up the plasma pistol, and when it's red, let it fire, quickly switch to your DMR, and finish off the headshot. They go together like peanut butter and jelly.
You know, when Bungie iterates on the Halo franchise and universe, they keep core principles protected, so the gunplay that you're used to is as tight, as focused, better in a lot of ways than it's ever been before. But what Bungie always does is add to that sandbox and add to that range of features that's available to players. So there's some things that people played with in the beta. There's armor abilities, for example. We've seen the jetpack. We've seen the sprinting ability. We've seen armor lockdown. There are a couple of others in there. We recently unveiled hologram. And all of these add significant variety to the sandbox gameplay, both in campaign and in multiplayer. All of these things are featured in both modes, and all of them completely change the battlefield and the kind of exciting sandbox gameplay, the sort of unexpected moments that Halo is famous for as you play.
Hello, I'm Sarge from the popular web series, Red vs. Blue.
And I'm Private Griff from the same show.
Everyone here, Red vs. Blue, is gearing up for the big changes coming in Halo Reach.
Moving to a new game can be a challenging time in any young video game character's life.
For example, you may find yourself experiencing an increased interest in alien species.
Hey, come back with that!
Or due to increased graphics, you may notice pixels in places you didn't have pixels before. be scared. This is normal.
Or your voice may be changing. Because they added that option in firefight mode.
There may even be new social pressure to wear the right armor and hang out in the cool maps.
All in all, we're doing a pretty cool, can be a confusing time for anyone. That's why GameStop is holding Halo Fest, a place where all Halo fans can learn about the upcoming changes to expect as they move to Halo Reach. There's contests and prizes. You can even win a life-size Spartan statue when you pre-order at GameStop.
Just visit GameStop.com/HaloFest. And remember, you're not alone.
Right. Unless you don't have internet connection.
Oh yeah, then you are alone. Totally alone.
One of the more imperative, but yet underrated parts of the Halo franchise has always been communication. Everybody knows how crucial teamwork is, and calling out enemy positions is a difference between a casual player and, well, a professional. The first step when you pop in your Halo Reach disc is to learn the levels and positions. With the map calls located on the bottom left of your screen, there's no excuse to be micros on Xbox Live. I'm not talking one-word callouts. Be sure to give an up-to-date breakdown of where not only your enemies are, but also where you're heading on the map is just as important. Now that you're equipped with the tools that you need to be a team player, let's get down to where the real fun is, strategy. The reason it's such a blast is because once it's mastered, you stand no chance of losing. Here's the positions that my team uses on the map Sword Base in order to establish Halo dominance. The golden rule is don't be a bottom feeder. Right from the beginning, the name of the game is get topside. The objective is to take cover in the high ground and watch each other's butts like you would your own. This strategy spreads your team across the map in order to force the other guys to spawn at the bottom, forcing them to scramble like ants. Each player has to know the role and not break away from the plan. Remember, communication and calling out enemy
Long time no
positions
see.
is key.
I kind of missed you.
Teammate
Hey, you're
number
almost going to get your armor here pretty soon.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is a crucial spot.
Told you a week.
Covering the majority of
Should be
the map.
about a week.
If anybody
Give or
tries to
take a few
sneak out
days. Maybe
on
less,
any
maybe a
bridges,
little bit
you can
longer.
click down
But
cover
he
fire
said
and
about a
communicate
week.
to the rest of the team. Teammate number 2 is located at the red staircase, right below teammate number 1.
Because he said about a month
Watching
before
the
the
middle of
release.
yellow base, break room 1,
Because I
and
haven't
the
got
yellow 1
mine either,
lift.
so.
Be aware of any opponents trying to sneak or flank through the bottom of the map. To keep it simple, I just call them sneaking. Technically, you're in a supporting role by watching the back flanks or anybody trying to sneak up on the team. Teammate number 3 is located top yellow lift, bouncing from corner to corner between the doorway, just in case the opponents try to frag him out with grenades. Even though it may be a boring job, it is easily the most important. One of the more common ways a team tries to take back top control is through the lift, especially if they know your team is up there. Teammate number 4 is located right outside the yellow lift on the bridge to red. He is also interchangeable with teammate number 3, who is watching the yellow lift. If either of them gets weakened by enemy fire, they can switch positions until further notice. His role on the team is to control the middle of the map, the bridges, main lift, and anybody who tries to get up through the red vent. By the way, when you see my gamertag Super Square on Xbox Live, don't use these strategies.
Multiplayer advancements in Halo Reach are almost literally unlimited. There's a number of things that Bungie has done here. Of course, they've added new maps, and of course, they've added new weapons and vehicles and features to that multiplayer, and they made significant improvements in the netcode and the matchmaking experience. But there's some things in there that are just huge. I would call out Forge World as one. Forge World is a kind of a blank slate. At its sort of emotional center, it has a remake of Blood Gulch. But the area outside that famous boxed canyon is absolutely vast. And you now have the tools and the ability to make almost any map that you can think of within that space. So in that regard, you're literally getting an infinitely replayable multiplayer experience just with that one map. And that's for getting the new maps and the remakes that are making into that matchmaking set. Secondly, I would say firefight. In ODST, this was a new mode that was introduced, and it was really cool and really fun. People said, hey, this is great, but I don't have friends to play with. I want matchmaking. So matchmaking is in there. Fully fledged matchmaking, firefight. And a lot of other people said, this is great, but it feels a little one-sided.